doctor's office for my first OB appointment. Today I am 6 weeks and 3 days along, and if I'm being totally honest, I really don't feel like filming right now. But I'm doing it because I feel like in some of those moments you capture things that are going to reach people the most. One of the reasons I don't want to film is just because there's a lot going on right now, including the fact that we're at a really big turning point today at today's appointment. If you guys are new to this channel, we are stuck in traffic jam HE double hockey sticks right now. It's 7:34, so of course my appointment starts smack dab in the middle of rush hour. Like I was saying, if you guys are new to this channel, my husband and I already have one daughter. Her name is Kala. She just turned 2. And we had a pregnancy in February of this year that unfortunately resulted in a miscarriage. And the miscarriage happened right around this time frame. We went in for my first appointment last time and there was no heartbeat, so we ended up doing blood work. And because of a couple other symptoms, figured out I was having a miscarriage. If you guys haven't seen that video where I discuss all of that experience, I will link that for you in the iCard up at the top of the screen. And you guys can pause this video and go back and watch it if you want to catch up. In my last pregnancy update, I talked to you guys about some of the increased anxiety that I've been feeling ever since then, and ever since finding out we were pregnant again. It's been a lot experiencing this pregnancy under a new lens, I would say. With my first pregnancy, there were pretty much 0 complications up until I gave birth, and ever since having the miscarriage, my eyes have just been opened to so many different types of complications that people go through. And I think everybody knows there's a good and bad side to all of the information we have access to. Sometimes it can be information overload. So I am going to talk to the doctor today about that. I actually heard about a supplement that was recommended to me and to a lot of other people through the doula service that I used the first time around. And I'm going to bring that up to my doctor and see what he says, or see if there's anything else that they recommend specifically for anxiety without having to do something prescription wise. I recently joined a Facebook group regarding pregnancy after a loss, and I know that what I'm going through and what others are going through is relatable and normal, and why I want to share this side of it. I am very hopeful for a successful pregnancy this time around, but I can't seem to shake the anxiousness surrounding the possibilities of what if. So I will check in with you guys after the appointment to let you know how everything goes, and if I get a final answer on how to move forward in the best way for us regarding some of the extra anxiousness that I'm feeling. actually filming this day of that I'm going to be posting this video to go live. A lot of you guys will recognize this little space that I'm sitting in currently as the place that I do a lot of my Instagram stories. The reason I'm filming this today and not closer to when my 6-week appointment actually happened is because I thought that I filmed it a couple weeks ago and then I can't find it anywhere on my camera or in my SD card, so I don't know what has happened, but that's okay because I was thinking anyways that in the first time that I filmed it I missed a couple things. So I'm going to be giving you guys the rundown of what happened at my first OB appointment, which actually they considered a consult for viability, not my actual first OB appointment like they told me when they scheduled it on the phone. So I think just because my history and because I pushed a little bit when I was on the phone scheduling with them, they brought me in way earlier than they normally do, at least in our area. Your first OB appointment will probably be more likely between 8 to 12 weeks, which people often think is ridiculous because you're waiting so long to go and even see, like, are you actually pregnant? Especially because in our area, none of the practices do like blood confirmation tests. So in between finding out you're pregnant using the at-home pregnancy test and waiting like 8 to 12 weeks can seem a little bit long. First of all, I will say I'm sharing plenty of good news in this video so that way you guys can like have a little bit of the weight lifted off of your chest, maybe from what happened in the first part of the video. I also want to initially just say I'm sorry that I didn't get any footage of the actual appointment, like not even me just sitting in the room. And that was because I swear to you guys, I was basically in shock. I don't know if the first part of this video captured it very well, but I was overboard nervous about going, which I explained a little bit of why, but I just was feeling so anxious about what happened at our last appointment that happened basically around the exact same time. And it was a totally different experience and it was heartbreaking. And then everything that happened after it is just something you never want to have to go through. By the time I got there, by the time they checked me in and got me back to the room, I was basically having an out-of-body experience. Like, I was that nervous. So there was no way that I was going to be filming or even remembered to film. In the future, I will do a much better job about doing that, so you guys can look forward to that at least. They did initially try to do a trans-abdominal, I think that's what it's called, ultrasound, and they couldn't see pretty much anything, which was so nerve-wracking that they can't see anything during the first try at the stomach ultrasound. It wasn't until they did a vaginal ultrasound that they did actually see everything that they needed to, including a heartbeat that was at 119 beats, which is amazing, especially for 6 weeks and 3 days. So we were like literally let out a huge sigh of relief when they found that. My ultrasound tech was so fabulous, so nice, and I just really appreciate when people are so kind. You know, like that makes such a difference, especially when you're in a situation where you're just so nervous. After that, we went and we waited to visit with the doctors. We did an actual consult with the doctor. And I basically just went over history and everything possible. And you guys know, if you've been here for even a hot minute, that I've got a lot of history to go over. So that took forever. We talked a lot about the plans for the next labor and delivery regarding focusing more on making sure that I have a functioning bladder after the labor and delivery. That would be amazing. I talked about in the intro that I was going to talk to the doctor about my anxiety. I did bring up the supplement that I mentioned to you guys, and she said that she didn't really think it was going to be beneficial to take, and that focusing more on things like getting back into prenatal yoga and meditating and taking stress off of my plate would be her first step recommendation. The next thing to do was for me to schedule my actual first OB appointment where they will do another ultrasound. I will do like a tour of the place. I'll talk to the doctor again and then just kind of go over everything again. And that's gonna happen at the end of August. So I will be sure to vlog that for you guys as well. The only other thing that they did at this first initial consult was a ton of blood work, because if you guys follow me again over on Instagram, or if you've been following with some of my previous TTC videos, you will know I'm pretty sure, like almost 99% positive, I have something called white coat syndrome. Because of the trauma that I experienced with my first labor and delivery and everything that happened at that doctor's office, specifically regarding blood pressure, I have severe anxiousness about getting my blood pressure taken at the doctor's office. I am telling you, I keep track of my blood pressure on my own at home with a monitor that's been compared to a monitor in the doctor's office, and my blood pressure is at home. When I go in to the doctor's office, even talking about it and thinking about it right now, it's not good. And it wasn't good at this first consult either. And thankfully, the doctor that I was seeing this time believed in white coat syndrome. Like, she thinks and understands that it's a real thing, whereas my previous doctor's office did not. They didn't think anxiety could affect your blood pressure like at all. So they didn't believe what I was telling them. They basically borderline, I would say, didn't believe in anxiety, which that's a problem. So along with my extremely elevated blood pressure that was happening in the office, which I will say they allowed me to like redo. They were like, we're gonna give you a couple minutes to try to calm down, which doesn't work for me. I'm still in the office. We're still like hyper focusing on the blood pressure. My blood pressure is not gonna go down. They gave me a couple times to like retake it, and it was getting worse. It was getting worse. I'm not laughing like it's a joke, because I know it's a really, really serious thing, but I'm laughing almost at like just anxiousness about it. So they went ahead and did lots of blood testing, including a preeclampsia panel already, which, oh, that makes me so nervous. And they ended up finding protein in my urine already, not an abnormal amount of protein. Let me clarify that. But they did find some, and I'm gonna talk to you guys more about that in my next vlog, because I ended up having to do additional testing, and this vlog is already a longer vlog. So you guys will see that soon. I think it might be the next video. And then the video after that will be my pregnancy update for this week. We had great news at our first appointment seeing our baby. I am so excited still to be taking you guys along this journey with us. I hope you guys are too. Give this video a thumbs up if you are. Make sure to hit the subscribe button down below so you guys can stay kept up with us this entire journey. I promise, for those of you who are not pregnant, who have followed along prior to me getting pregnant with baby number 2, I am going to start incorporating more content back into my channel that doesn't necessarily hyper focus on pregnancy, so stay tuned for that. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know how far along you guys are, what happened at your first OB appointment, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video and watching. Bye guys.